What up, Buckeye Nation? Welcome to the Buckeye Boys, where we talk about college football with real fans. I'm your host, Devan. This is your other host, Melo. And we're going to talk a little bit of football with you tonight. Melo, first off, how was your day, my dude?
Man, it was great. Took my daughter to the UGA Bama game, not the football one, the soccer one, and it was just as good as the football game. And then
Really?
2-2, yeah. And then 2-2 draw. Like, those are two elite soccer teams. So it was cool. How about yourself?
Pretty good, man. Got a bunch of stuff ready for the cruise tomorrow. And then I rewatched the Ohio State game, and I wrote notes on every single play of the game.
That's
It's
dedication, brother.
I mean, check this out. See, can you see it?
Now I can see it.
Yeah, there's one quarter. There's two quarters. There's three quarters. There's my overall notes. This is the third. Yeah, like it's for real.
I know your hand
It's
was hurting.
dude. It's bad, you know.
Yep.
But that's just something I'm into. I'm into trying to be smarter with what I'm looking at because I know. Because here's what I found out that like as I'm watching the game, for instance, I'll tell you, I mean, like the first quarter, I mean, I was texting people that our defense sucks. Like this is bad. We have a sucky defense, all this stuff, but it's just I know it's those emotions in the moment, and I still hear a lot of people saying that, but the truth is, bro, we have a pretty damn good defense. They just we'll
It,
dive into our thoughts further on the matter. I got
but
my
to that
thoughts.
point, freaking, that's why coaches at the end of the press conference, when they ask them specific questions and plays, they're like, I have to go back and watch the film because it's for the same exact reason.
Yep, 100%. And the truth is, Aiden Childs, he's a pretty good quarterback, to be honest. I mean, he has his when he's good, he's really good, but when he's bad, he's really bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's got some potential. But um, yeah, so I guess actually before we dive into it, I've got to ask you, did you watch the Miami game?
So I was at a bar that night, a little bar restaurant, and I saw it. I couldn't hear it, but I saw
Gotcha.
the travesty at the last play, which is ridiculous. And I have my theories
Yeah.
on that. I have my theories on why UGA made a comeback, and a lot of it ain't got nothing to do with football. A lot of it got to do with business and money, if you ask
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, it's depressing. I mean, so the Miami game, I was a little curious as to why they called that a touchdown on the field, if you ask me, but they did, you
Hmm.
know. And if you go watch the replay, there's no way that they found, you know, undisputed evidence or indisputable evidence that he didn't catch it. That's just not anyway.
I
I
think they
talked.
did. I saw you and Tony go about it. I disagreed with you on that one.
Yeah. So
Because if
you
you watch
think
the replay, he was already out of bounds first off, and he definitely didn't have control of the ball. I thought it was
okay.
pretty easy. I thought it was
I
pretty
I,
obvious.
I love this. So this is my other point to that is that you know the Virginia Tech receiver had the ball. Now, was it in his possession or not? It's really hard to tell.
Oh,
And
you
the
mean
in the
Miami, or are you talking about Virginia Tech DB?
I'm talking
Because
about Virginia Tech, dude. Miami receiver never had the ball in his
right,
possession. He hit out of bounds, then he
okay,
put his hand on the
got you.
ball. You
See,
got all
I
that
thought
stuff.
that's what you were saying, that he did have possession and it was obvious.
No, so no,
Okay,
what I'm saying is, so the refs on the field called a touchdown because
right.
they thought the Virginia Tech receiver had possession. Boom, came down in the end zone. Now, in the replay, you can see where it looks like the Virginia Tech receiver holding the ball and then his butt hitting the ground and then him going like out of bounds. The second his
I
butt
thought
hits
my
the
I thought Miami was on offense and Virginia Tech was on defense, and they gave the touchdown to the Miami receiver who was out of bounds. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. And he was at and
am I
that won them
really
the game.
that am I really that far off right now? Are you sure, dude?
I'm like 99% sure because I watched it in the bar and there was some fans in there, and I was
Yeah,
like,
but
that
you
wasn't a
were in
cat.
the bar. Dude, listen, if I because I thought for sure that it was Virginia Tech that threw
I'm gonna look right now,
that
real quick.
threw the Hail Mary down into the
You could be
end
right. I
zone.
was in the bar.
Bro, oh, maybe it was because you were in a I mean, were you just maybe a little bit on the drinking a little bit? But maybe I was. I mean, shoot. No, because no, dude, now I don't know.
Oh no, I think you're right. Hold
Oh,
on.
Mello, you're dude, I'm over here
Oh yeah,
questioning.
you were definitely right. You're right. I was going so hard.
I literally just started questioning my entire life, and I thought my entire
No,
life
you were right.
just joking, bro.
It was one too many drinks.
Woo! No wonder you disagreed with this.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt.
I thought Virginia Tech should have won the game. I thought I thought the play on whatever the refs called on the field, it should have stayed that call because there wasn't evidence to show otherwise. Indisputable evidence to show otherwise. That was my opinion of the
Yeah.
matter. And then there was the other game. What was the other game? Oh yeah, Scum game. Did you watch that one?
Oh yeah.
Did you watch? What'd you think about the offsides penalty on the onside kick?
Man, we
That
all know that was a BS call.
oh man, did you know that they ranked them number 10 now?
Yeah, which is insanity.
They went up, weren't they went from 12 to 10
Because they beat
after
Minnesota.
after barely beating Minnesota. And the very few fans that I have watched talk, of course, they agree. In their minds, they honestly believe that they are a top 10 team in the nation.
I'm trying to hold the laugh, but I can't. There, you can't watch
Like,
that performance or the last few performances that they've been having and think that they're a top 10 team. I barely think they're a top 20 team, to be honest with you. But I'll take
yeah.
top 10 because when we beat them November 30th, I guess it'll help. It probably won't matter because I think they're going to lose to Oregon anyway. So, I mean,
Yeah.
they're going to have a
Well,
problem.
well, here's something that's been proven the last couple games. Their defense doesn't have the stamina to keep up because, like in the first quarter and second quarter, those D tackles, they're pretty darn good. They're pretty darn good at blowing some stuff up. But
They like death.
oh, bro, after that, it's over, man. You get them dudes tired. You get them running around. They ain't got nobody to sub in for them. It's like cutting through butter, dude. I mean, Minnesota was just doing whatever they wanted on offense there after a minute. So I don't know. Anyway, on to the more important discussion of the day. Our good old Buckeyes. They went in to Michigan State, first road game, Will Howard's first road game. They went in there. They took care of business. They did not take care of business how I thought they would take care of business. I thought that the defense would come in there, um, pretty fired up, pretty tightened up, and absolutely dominate. That did not happen the first half. Towards the end of the second quarter, they were kind of tightening up a little bit. But give me your thoughts on the defensive performance of the first half and what you thought.
So they definitely came out slow, especially the first four possessions. They let the team up North State move the ball on them, which I thought was a little depressing and concerning, especially because I mean, going to play Oregon October 12th, and they like to throw the ball, and they got a pretty mobile quarterback. Then I started watching. I thought our D line played pretty well in the first half, but then I'm watching. Why are we so playing off coverage so hard when we have elite DBs? This is BIA. Igbinosun is a press man coverage corner. Why is he playing so far off? That is not his strong suit. He's not that type of corner. And then you have a quarterback, a young quarterback, albeit he's a sophomore, but this is his first year really playing.
Yeah.
You're giving him wide open, easy catch and throw and catch passes to wide receivers that are pretty damn good, to be honest with you. They're above average.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't you press him across the board so he has to throw into tight windows and make anticipatory throws? And he's going to make more mistakes. We probably would have had like 3 picks instead of just the one by Denzel Burt. Now the defense did make up for some of the bending by forcing 2 fumbles that we recovered and were fortunate to recover. But the main thing for me in terms of the defense in the first half was why were the DBs playing so far off? That was the main thing. You have Caleb Downs and Lathan Ransom over the top behind you. Press the wide receivers. You have Denzel Burt, who's elite. I think he's a top 3 DB in the country. You have Iggy, who I think is the most physical DB in the country. And then you got Jordan Hancock, who I think is the best nickel in the country. So why are you playing 10 yards off with a young quarterback that makes mistakes? I think from a scheme standpoint, I think Jim Knowles went in initially with the wrong scheme for the DBs. That's my
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah. I would have to agree with you. I'm going to give my little take real fast. And after that,
Yeah,
I'm going to read the stats. We always forget to read the stats first. I think that's a good place to start. But I'm going to have to agree with you, man. The first 2 or 3 plays of the game, Sonny Styles just looked absolutely, completely lost, out of place, looking like he has no idea what to do. Um, but and then in the same regard, they were going, they were very, very soft coverage, and that was not working. But after watching it, part of me wonders, like, if Jim Knowles is doing that on purpose to try to see what he has in his defenses, just because it's Michigan State and he already knew, hey, we're going to handle business,
true.
do this. But watching, it's very aggravating. Now you got to ask yourself, you know, is that what was going on, or was this Jim Knowles's best effort? If it was his best effort, there's an issue. There's a problem because, I mean, they were getting over 10 yards per play in the first half, and it wasn't working. And also, they were going to a lot of those 3 linebacker looks as well and taking Jordan Hancock off the field. And I love what you said. That was the main thing I was going to bring up. You have like a very physical defensive back playing 10 yards off a receiver. That doesn't, you know, and you wonder why Iggy kept getting burnt. That's not his game.
Right.
Should it be? For sure. Yeah, he needs to learn to get better at that. And maybe that's what they were doing, trying to give him some different looks. And Jim Knowles was sitting back and seeing if he could make this work or make that work. But in the same sense, our defense was bending a lot. And then call it what you want. I am not on the luck side of it. I'm on the other side that the defense handled the business. Hancock stripped one out, for the fumble. And so they went in and they got it done. They handled it. They work on those strips all the time in practice. They do all that stuff. Now, that one
That's why you
strip,
can't call it luck.
I know. Yeah, that luck word goes out the window. Then, I mean, you see Ransom every single tackle he has, he's freaking punching that ball,
Yeah.
dude, every single time, bro. Everybody on the defense. I love it. This is what you get when you do
Yep.
that. So, I'm not throwing that luck word in there. They did what they needed to do. They got the ball. That one was got a little bit of face mask, but he wasn't going anyway, but they definitely probably would have kicked a field goal.
But I'm
Yep.
saying they didn't call it, so
I know
whatever.
they didn't call a lot of stuff that game, as well as the officiating is pathetic this year. But anyway, let's go on to the stats.
Yeah.
Total yards for High State: 483 yards, 298 passing yards, 185 rushing yards, 6.4 yards per play. Our defense held them to 246 yards total, 199 passing yards, 47 rushing yards,
Mm.
4.9 yards per play.
Yep.
So, I don't know, for some reason, as I was watching the game, I felt like they had way more than 47 rushing yards. And I wonder this. Let me ask you this. Do you think if we wouldn't have done the three linebackers and the soft coverage that they would have had more rushing yards and less passing yards?
That's a good question. I never thought about that. That's a really good question.
Maybe Jim Knowles, because if you go watch Michigan State previously, a lot of their success is Aiden Childs running wild, just
Yeah.
taking off and running.
So I assume that's exactly why I assumed they went to the three linebacker look to help
Yeah.
stop the run. Um, but yeah, it's a valid question. But still, I still would like to see the DBs press, even if you're in three linebacker look.
Yeah, for sure. Because you go in the second half, guess what the DBs did? They were pressuring.
Yep.
And what happened? Just completely, absolutely shut everything down. He threw an interception. It was just a completely different
Different game.
outcome in the I mean, the D line was getting penetration stuff. And honestly, even in the first half and some of those long passes that were attempted, I mean, if he would have held onto the ball for a second longer, it was over for him. You
Yeah.
know, he was getting beat down.
And I
So
mean that goes in. That's what I wanted to address when you said I felt like they had more rushing yards. That's because you have to count the sacks that takes off from the rushing yards, and he got hit pretty good a good amount of times.
yeah, I think he got sacked 4 times
Yeah.
for the game,
So
and they
you
were
probably take off at least another at a minimum 30 yards for the most part.
yeah. For some reason, I wanted to say they had 80 some
Yeah.
rushing yards minus that. I was trying to look and see, but I can't. Anyway, so yeah, man. I mean, the second half, you saw a lot more pressure. You saw the DBs up a lot closer. Um, and getting it done. But I want to talk about. I'm going to ask you, Will Howard throws the interception.
Hmm.
Okay, they get down, on the goal line, and you look at the defensive package that Knowles decided to call, and then you look over, and we're in the red zone, and Iggy is 10 to 12 yards off of a receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, before they ran that play, in my mind, I was like, they're about to throw it over to this receiver, and he's about to run it in for a touchdown. And that's what they did. I saw it.
Yeah.
So, what was up with that, you think?
That goes back to the same whole philosophy of why he had him playing off press.
What
I
was up?
don't understand it. I don't know. That's not what your DBs are good at. That's not who
Yeah.
they are. Now, Denzel, because I think Denzel is the most complete DB on the team in terms of coverage skills. He could do both. He could press or he could play off. He doesn't really have any flaws in his coverage skills. But Iggy is a straight up press man coverage DB. And when you play him like that, the only thing you have to worry about with Iggy is he going to turn his head around when the ball's coming to avoid that PI.
Yeah.
When you have him playing off, which he's not a strong suit at, now he has to have those fluidity in his hips to keep up with the receiver and mirror his route and also get his head around. So now you're asking him to do even more, which keep it simple for him. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Keep it simple, stupid. That's all you got
Amen.
to do.
Well, to stay on the defense, if we were to go with an overall thing, am I worried about our secondary giving up 199 passing yards? No, I'm not. I don't think. I just think the passing yards was a scheme related thing involving Knowles. I'm not worried about that at all. The 47 rushing yards, clearly, you can say our defensive line did good. That's 47 rushing yards, when you
Yeah.
include the sacks in there. But still, this area that we keep talking about, man, there's no other way to put it. I'm not being a Debbie Downer right now. I still think we're the best team in the nation. I still think our defense is the best defense in the nation. I'm not freaking out over what I saw at all. I would rather us not be playing our best football right now. I would rather it be boom in the playoffs towards the end of the year. But linebackers, specifically Sonny Styles. What's your thoughts, man? What am I being too hard on him?
I think we're
Uh,
all. I think all of us as a fan base, as podcasters, I'm talking about across the board. It's not just our show; it's across the board for the most part, except for the ones where the players actually played the game or played for Ohio State and know a little bit more from being
mm-hmm.
in those situations. We all are putting a hell of a lot of pressure on Sonny, and we're judging him from a perspective. Now,
Yeah,
I did talk to Brad, our friend Brad, earlier today,
yeah,
and I was this in the same exact what you just said. That's how I felt, right?
yeah,
And I posed it like, "Yo, what's up with this? What's going on with him?" They're like, "You gotta remember, Sonny. This is only his fourth game ever playing linebacker.
yeah,
Like he's still learning on the fly, and he's still starting for us." So he was like, "Sonny is a freak of nature." And he's going to be fine, especially as soon as he starts putting it all together and realizing this is what I'm supposed to do. He said once that happens, you're going to see night and day between Sonny. So I think we might be just judging it a little harshly, forgetting that it's only his fourth game playing.
yeah. So, to be honest with you, my question right now is honestly not Sonny as a player.
Mm-hmm.
It's from the coach's perspective. Like, are these coaches seeing what we're seeing? Do they think Sonny's where Sonny should be?
Mm.
Um, are they playing Sonny in the wrong position? Are they worried about Sonny in bigger games? Why aren't we seeing more Gabe Powers or other people in there if Sonny is clearly struggling? It, are we doing the right thing right now? Are we playing Sonny too much and not Arvell Reese enough? Or is this the coach's plan? Do they, is this what they're wanting? Are they wanting him to just keep in there getting that experience? Because I totally feel you. Like, if you expect Sonny Styles to go from safety down to linebacker, a very complicated, very different position to play on the football field, you know, and if we think Sonny Styles is an average player, then Sonny Styles is doing really good. But I think it's the expectations we're holding Sonny at right now as a player. Want him to come in look like James Laurinaitis on the field or Ryan Shazier or something like that. But
Mm-hmm.
it's just
So
a question I have.
to that point, they have to play Sonny. They're using
Yeah.
Sonny as the reason you should come to Ohio State. They're using Sonny as basically the test dummy. They know Tyler Atkinson and Riley Pettijohn look up to him. They know Anthony Davis looks up to him. All the elite 26 linebackers we're going at. Sonny is going to be the catalyst to shooting this linebacker room throughout the next decade to being a top 3, top 5 linebacker room nationally year in
Yeah.
and year out. So they have to have Sonny get it right. Sonny has to get it right so that way he can be a first rounder or a second rounder and get to the league. And we need it for not just for our team this year and winning a natty, but for future teams down the line for the next 10 years. Everything that we're going to see from the linebacker room, a lot of it's going to be based on Sonny. The reason Arvell isn't playing as much is because they don't even use Arvell as a will. He doesn't even know how to play that position. He takes 0 reps. He hasn't taken 1 rep there throughout the entire off season. They're not going to throw him in the middle of the season, especially in Big Ten play right now. There, he's not taking the green dot from Cody Simon. Cody Simon is the leader, the unquestioned leader of this defense, coming from all the defenders. So, I mean, Arvell's just going to have to rotate for right now, unless something serious happens to somebody and someone gets injured, even though he's playing lights out. It
Yeah.
just is what it is, and that's just what it's going to be.
So then it's fair to say that the coaches are taking a very big chance on Sonny Styles. They're putting a lot of faith
Oh, yeah.
in
There's a
their
lot of
coaching
stock in him.
ability and in Sonny Styles' ability. And, just as a fan, from a fan perspective, like, I'm there with that, but then there's the other side of me that's like, dang, what if this doesn't work? You know what I mean? Like, but
Yeah, I feel
that's
that.
football, man. That's football. But I choose to put my trust in the coaches. I
Right.
trust him. It's James Laurinaitis. Like, he knows way more about this than I ever will. All the coaches do. So it's like, but as a fan perspective, Still something everybody's talking about. They see it. It's obvious that Sonny Styles is that he's new to the position, and this is Ohio State. So, if our receivers went out on the field and didn't perform at a high level, they'd be getting talked about just like Sonny would, any position. I mean,
Right.
people are giving Emeka a very hard time for dropping 3 passes, and we're going to talk about that, and we're going to give him a hard time.
Oh yeah.
So if you're going to play for Ohio State, if you're going to be a linebacker, Sonny Styles, then do what you got to do to step that game up and just make sure you're coming into every game looking a little better every time. And I guess that's where I'm at. I didn't see him get a little bit better. I saw him the same place he was at. Is he absolutely horrible? No, I'm not going to say it's horrible, but it's like, okay, here we go. I mean, you playing with the big boys now. Let's step it up a little bit. I know he can. He's got the ability to do it 100%. The dude is a freak athlete.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm there with it. I am very upset that we didn't see Gabe Powers more. Once again, we saw him get in the game, and what did he do? Put the freaking hammer down on somebody, bro. Did you see that hit?
Yeah.
I love him, dude. I love Gabe Powers, but
Yeah, he lit him up.
yeah, I'm not at practice though, so maybe we're not seeing something. How is Gabe a sophomore?
Yeah. Yep.
Is he? That's what I thought. Okay. Let me hear something that you saw on defense, good or bad, that you want to talk about.
Caleb Downs, bro. No, I'm starting with
Woo-wee,
Mr.
boy.
Gwinnett County. Mr.
Yeah.
Gwinnett County, Caleb Downs himself. Man, if he's not a heat-seeking missile. Man, my favorite play that he did, they threw a little pass out to the wide receiver. As soon as the wide receiver turned, bow, on his ass. He got up. The dude got up and just shook his head and was just like, you could look at him in his face. He was just like, what the? I hate my life. He had that facial expression literally like, I hate my life. He looked like he was on one of those long Afghanistan climbing the mountain missions with me where you're like, man, I got 150 pounds on my back. I hate my life right now. Like, why am I doing this?
Yeah. I tell you what, if you're a football fan, if you're an X's and O's fan, not just let me see what looks good and what doesn't look good. If you're an X's and O fan, which I'm turning into, I want to know exactly who, what, when, where, and why. That's the fan I'm turning into. Watch Caleb Downs, even on the plays he's not involved in. It's very entertaining. It's just awesome to watch what he does, even when he's not involved in the play. Dude's a genius. Dude's the best safety in the country.
Absolutely.
You better freaking watch out. That dude is an absolute game wrecker. And we saw that, I love it. And you got him right beside Lathan Ransom, dude. I mean,
Latham
where did they
all in this year, man?
Yeah, the preseason, who had the best safety room in the country? Was it Georgia?
That's what they said. You know what I noticed about Georgia? I was just talking to some people down there. I'm in Georgia, so
yeah.
Georgia, Malachi Starks is going to be the best safety in the draft, isn't it? He's not the best safety in the country, so we're going to establish that right now. Georgia asked him to do some dumb stuff that I don't understand. Like, he cannot cover elite wide receivers. He's a safety. Like, he should be the safety net. He should either be coming over the top to help on a double team or coming down in the box, stuffing the run, or blitzing the quarterback. They have him covering elite wide receiver. He can't do that. We saw in the Peach Bowl, he was getting cooked by Marv, by Mecca. He was getting cooked by both of them. So, like, I'm not going to say Julian because, I mean, Julian wasn't really cooking. He was just open sometimes because they were so worried about Marv and Mecca. But, yeah, like, the best safety room is in Ohio. Resides in Columbus, Ohio State.
Yeah, for sure.
What did you think about Caden McDonald's play?
He's a tank. I was literally about to say his name right now. And brings me back to what are we missing? So I'm not smart enough yet to be able to say with Tyleek out, the 1 tech or 3 tech. I don't know the difference there.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if like Hero Canoe fit Tyleek Williams mold better than Caden McDonald did. But why did Caden McDonald not start over Hero Canoe? And then why is he not getting more snaps than what he's getting? I saw, Tywon Malone in there. I mean, I like the depth that we have. Like they do good, but when K Mac gets in, he's in, and he's a D tackle. So to make your presence felt as a D tackle, I mean, that's Tyleek Williams type status. That's first round draft pick defensive tackle type status. If you're a D tackle disrupting things at that level, what's I love him.
K
What
Mac
about you?
is a game changer. He
Yeah. Did he get Florida or Georgia Player of the Year in Georgia in high
he
school?
no, he got that's Mr. North Gwinnett. I call him because he went to North Gwinnett High School. He got defensive player of the year. And I watched him play Brookwood High School against Dylan Lonergan, who is quarterback at Bama. He had a committable offer to Ohio State, by the way. His dad actually played baseball and football at Penn State too. But I watched him just bull rush a double team. He was getting double teamed in high school. I was at the game and he bull rushed both of them like they're a piece of paper and just laid Dylan out. And you see him doing the same thing here. So with Georgia, when they go to recruit their like D tackles and a D linemen, which I hope they keep having this same mindset, if they look at arm length, which I mean, technically, yeah, you want longer guys with longer arms like Edric Houston, and they look at height. But
Yeah.
I mean, clearly that shit ain't it ain't working for them right now, going that route, and they definitely missed out on K Mac and
Yeah.
Edric.
You know who he reminds me of a bunch?
Who?
Jarquez Carter, bro, in the 2025
Oh
class.
yeah, man, that
I don't,
dude's a
I don't know why,
beast too.
bro. You know what I like? See the type of players like Larry Johnson, that he goes after are these dudes with crazy motors.
Yeah,
Like they're mean and they're dirty and
yeah.
they just don't stop going. So I love it. But a few more honorary people I want to talk about. You know, Ty Hamilton is an absolute tank as well.
Oh
Dude's a
yeah,
beast.
yes he is.
There's no getting around that. Mitchell Melton showing up, showing out again.
Yep.
And if you want to watch some fun players to watch, again, X's and O's, watch Caden Curry and watch Kenyatta Jackson Jr. when they get in the game and watch the
Facts.
speed that they have and how they get off blocks. Watch
So
it.
I got a question for you. And I'm gonna when Brad comes on the show, I'm asking him this too. I haven't asked him yet, but I'm gonna ask you now. I watched them move Ken Curry and Kenyatta Jackson inside on one of the pass rush, and they had Jack and JT on the outside. Like it looked like they flipped it from what they did previously. I didn't like it. I'm gonna just be honest. I wanted to see those two on the outside and the other two on the inside because they're just
Dude,
bigger anyway.
dude, did you not when we interviewed Brad Jackson, I literally said the same exact thing. Literally. I'm right there with you.
Yeah,
But um to me, I guess the only thing I can say is, you got to try to we don't know what the coaches are trying to accomplish when they're doing that,
that is true.
so but like in terms of what makes more sense, like who's going to get I figured you want your faster people on the edge to get to the quarterback, but maybe they want to keep Jack and JT out there for more of that edge contain, I guess, and get that speed up the middle because they know they got a safety net behind them and the linebackers in case they overrun or something like that. Like that's just
Yeah,
my thinking. But I want to see the other way around, see what happens because I'm
right.
telling you right now, I'm very excited for Curry, Mitchell Melton, Kenyatta Jackson Jr. I just think they're different. They're different edge rushers than JT and Jack. That's just what I see, man.
Right.
That's how I feel.
But
But
I will shout out JT. Did you see that bull rush he did on that
yeah,
on that tackle?
on the
Yes.
freshman tackle,
Red shirt freshman. So technically he's a sophomore. He just didn't play last year. But
yeah,
I mean, he put him 5 yards backwards on his back, looking at the
yeah,
sky,
that was
counting
nasty.
stars.
But let me ask you this: a red shirt freshman, should it have happened more? Dude, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I know. I'm not. I don't want to be that dude. I thought he played good. Like he played
Yes.
good.
I
He
was
played.
just so amped up about just that one play, man.
I know, but like, ah,
No, I
and
get you. I mean, if he hit the weight room, it might have happened more. You never know.
yeah. Hey, let's just say it out. Hey, and first off, listen, we're a high state Buckeye fans, dude.
Absolutely.
We are, bro. It's perfection, or we're gonna talk about it. Now, deep down in my heart, even though I nitpick this team sometimes, I love them to death. I still think they're the best team in the nation and all that stuff. But I'm an Ohio State fan. I'm gonna talk about it if I see it. I'm gonna tell you what I think, and this is it's just what it is. I'm sorry. I love you to death, but I'll tell you what I think as well. But yeah, that was a serious bull rush. The entire defensive line that play absolutely demolished their entire offensive line. If JT didn't do it, wasn't it in that Rushman package? I thought Curry and Kenyatta were in too. Maybe Mitchell Melton on the other side. I forget, but I remember seeing that play. I got it written down here somewhere. It said something, but
Yeah,
anyway,
man. It's just so to your point, that does what you're saying about them experimenting, right? So now this just popped up in my head. I'm thinking about our schedule, how it's lining up is just gradually getting tougher and tougher. And then I think at the end, it's going to drop off a little bit because I don't think Penn State's going to challenge. I think they're going to be a good challenge, but I don't think it's going to be a challenge like the rest of the nation thinks. I don't think
yeah,
Michigan's going to be a challenge like the rest of the nation thinks. And then we're gearing up to go to get ready for the playoffs. So this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they're experimenting. They're rotating and keeping everybody fresh and keeping depth. You see, UGA has a lot of serious injuries to like key players.
mm-hmm.
Michigan has banged up players. You look across the board, the players are banged up that are playing a harder schedule and who
Mm-hmm.
decided to make fun of us for having a soft spring game because we did two-hand touch
Gotta love
in
it.
their eyes, but now they're like crying about their injuries and trying to get healthy. Oh, maybe you should have been smarter about your spring game, by the way. But
Yeah,
we have a 17 game season as longer. We have the opportunity to experiment, develop depth, and go into college football playoffs with the most senior laden veteran team with the one of the highest or the second highest blue chip ratio after Alabama and be the healthiest team in the playoffs, which is going to be key, right?
yeah,
So like I think what Chip and Coach Day and Jim are thinking is let's try different things, keep it as much vanilla as possible, but like these are going to be the baseline of all of our formation and defensive plays, and then we're adding wrinkles to each team that we play, specific wrinkles. And I think we'll start seeing that October 12th. I
yeah,
think October 12th, you're going to see somewhat of the real Buckeyes, like where everything is going to be
yeah,
opened up because they're going to belt the ass that team.
yeah. I love that thought because as a fan, if you put yourself in that position and think like that, and then look at everything we've done, you're like, okay, cool.
Right.
The plan is going perfectly because we haven't had a close game. We've dominated every game. As much as we want to complain about the defense in Marshall and the defense here, nobody's gotten injured.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting a lot of people in the games. So yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe they're picking these packages that the second and third string players know. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like these inexperienced players, maybe they can't go out there and do all these other things that we want to see. And it would make sense because you remember in the offseason, I mean, Ryan Day didn't shut up about that. That's all he talked about was how long the season was and how different it is and how important it was to play your best ball at the end of the season and have everybody healthy. So I think you might be on to something there, man. And if we think like that as fans, I think we can sit back and be pretty. I mean, you can be pretty happy already. We're
Oh,
four and
yeah. And
zero.
to be
We're
fair,
dominating.
I don't think that it's the second and third and fourth string can't do these same plays. I do think they can. I think they're just as
Well, it
elite.
was
They
just a
just have
thought.
someone that's a little bit more elite. I think it's them. I think a lot of things that they're doing right now. I'm just be honest. The Marshall game. I know they said they focus on Marshall coming off the bye week. I guarantee you they were all the entire bye week was probably focused on Oregon. That's just my opinion. That's how I don't have anything to back that up. I just feel in my gut like they were heavily focusing on Oregon and getting ready for that. And I think like they're just keeping stuff a little vanilla and basic so that way Oregon's not prepared for the stuff that's about to hit them in their face and they're going to have to prepare on the fly. And I don't, as much as people love Dan Lanning, I don't think that coaching staff is elite. I mean, they have potential and they have great personality and they have the Nike money and they have the cool uniforms and the cool facilities and they can recruit. But I don't think they're elite coaching staff, like,
Yeah.
honestly. So I think they're like, let them try to figure this out on the fly and see if they can adjust. And I don't think so. We easily have the best coaching staff in the Big Ten.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, you know my opinion on Oregon. That has not changed
Oh, yeah.
at all. It's almost been more reaffirmed than anything else. But moving on, I
Mm-hmm.
think and obviously we'll, Brett Jackson's going to be coming back on with us on Tuesday and Wednesday, I believe. We're going to have B. Moses on here. So we're going to
Yeah.
be diving into the game way more and talking about it. But let's move over to the offense now.
Okay.
I'm going to let you give an opening statement on the offense. I gave the opening for the defense. So
Yeah. Honestly, the offense is the best in America. And I'm saying that right now. I don't care what I saw what Alabama was doing. I've seen UGA's offense. I've seen Texas offense. I've seen Oregon's offense. Ohio State has the best offense in America. We are multiple at every level. We have I believe we have 3 number 1 receivers in Tate, Emeka, and Optimus Prime. We definitely have 2 number 1s at running back. No other college has that, whatever you want to say. I think wide receiver room, we're the deepest in the country. Now, is there per se like Texas? Do they have a better wide receiver starter? Yeah, of course. Obviously. Do they have a better O-line? Straight up? Yes.
Wait. Back up. What'd you say about Texas? They have a better
starting wide receiver. I mean, starting QB, quarterback.
Woo-wee.
They don't have any wide receiver better than our wide receivers.
Oh, I thought me and you were about to have a juicy conversation.
Yeah, I'm glad you caught me on that.
Juicy, bro. I was about to be like, whoa, dude.
I'm glad you caught me on that. They have a better QB and they have a better O-line just off of baseline. Now, if you put in scheme and system, no, I'm taking our O-line. They're more athletic. So I think in terms of our offense, we have the best offense in America, hands down. We could do anything you want, any type of style. We could beat you on the ground. We could beat you on the air. We could beat you with trick plays. We could beat you with reverses, counters, pin and pulls, gap scheme, zone scheme. Doesn't matter. The only hiccup on offense, and Dev knows this all too well because he harps on it every single episode since day one, is the tight ends.
Yeah. Dude, it's so freaking when they ran that third down play and Bennett Christian was wide open, bro, and he fell on the ground. I couldn't even be mad. I just started laughing. I just started laughing. I get that it happens, I guess, but I don't know, bro. Just like the whole aura around the tight end room and all that stuff, just to watch him slip on a wide open pass, it was just like, oh my God, dude, what's going on? But before I get there, I agree with you. Best offense in the nation. Why? Because we have the best skill players in the nation. We have the perfect quarterback for the scheme. We got an O-line that gets it how they live. They get in there and they get it done. They don't always look the prettiest, but they freaking get it done. We got 2 All-American running backs back there that are probably going to each have over 1,000 yards by the end of the season. I mean, we might have 2 running backs with over 1,000 and 2 receivers with over 1,000. That's what we're on pace to do right now. I don't know if you know that or not, but it's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
What if we have 3 receivers with 1,000 yards and 2 running backs with 1,000 yards, bro?
It could happen, man. It could.
Well, listen, I think JJ and Emeka, I believe they almost have 400 yards receiving already through
Yeah.
4 games. Cornell Tate, I think he's just under 300. I could be way off here. I'm spitting out numbers and I don't even freaking know. I almost want to look up. Either way, listen, we got good
You can look it up
receivers.
if you want. I don't care. That's fine. But like
Yeah.
while you're looking that up, I will say this. I need Will Howard to see the field a little bit better. This was his first interception, true interception. I thought before the interception that he threw, he was lighting it up. He was hot. He was hitting guys in the hands, numbers, helmets. It isn't his fault if they dropped it. It wasn't like they were being hit when they dropped it. So like I think that there's a lot of room for growth, which is the scary part if you think about it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I got the stats right here.
Okay.
So Quinchon Junkins has 390 yards. He's averaging 8.3 yards per carry. Trey, 276 yards, 8.9 yards per carry. JJ has 364 yards with an average of 19.2 yards per catch. Emeka Ibuka, 362 yards with an average of 17.2. Cornell Tate with 219 yards with an average of 15.6 yards per catch.
Hmm.
We're complaining about our tight end, but Bennett Christian is averaging 30 and a half yards per catch.
Yeah, but how many catches does he have?
Dude. So anyway, like I said, dude, this is only fourth game. Now our schedule does get harder.
Yeah.
So, they'd have to really pull some magic to do all those things. But I and after this game, I am beyond stoked. Stoked is such a light term to use when I talk about wide receiver freaking blocking, dude,
Mm-hmm.
and running back pass protection. They are freaking smashing dudes in the mouth to the point where I'm like, bro, you know, I mean, we gonna win a natty just based off our wide receiver blocking. Like, good God, how do
Right.
you stop this team when you have
That's
what?
why DCs are going to stay up all night. And think about it. Emeka was the lead blocker on a counter play where he punched Holiday in the mouth, a true linebacker at 230 pounds,
Yeah,
a middle linebacker for
yeah.
MSU, punched him in the face. He flopped. He fell out like a fat pig at camp that did 100 laps.
You know what I
Fell
love
out.
seeing? I love seeing how fired up they were. I mean, JJ was getting into it. JJ came to Emeka's side when they were getting on him a
Mhm.
little bit. I just love it. I'm stoked
Yeah,
about
because
it.
that DB was mad that Mecca was manhandling him like he was a little kid. He
Yeah.
like, get over here, little boy. Get over
I
here.
did you see that? Did you see the DB trying to fight back? It was the funniest
Yeah,
thing
it was
ever.
so pathetic, right?
Yeah, it almost like you ever see the cartoons where the bully holds the kid upside down by one leg and shakes his
Right.
pants to take his money. That's literally what he was
Yep.
doing, bro. But um, let's see. I got to give props real fast to a Michigan State player, and that is number 7, the Turner linebacker. I
Oh
want
yeah.
him on our team.
He's
If
got
we,
dog.
bro,
He's got the dog in him.
dude, that's a Big Ten linebacker right there.
Yeah.
He was lighting us up, man.
Tell that boy to hit the transfer portal. We
Oh
got
yeah.
Skyline Chili, all you can eat.
Oh
All you can
yeah.
eat. Skyline Chili, guaranteed. Night,
Yeah.
breakfast, dinner,
Yeah.
whatever you want it. You got it.
Let me say this. Will Howard definitely can improve, but I'm going to stand very strong on this statement. I would not trade Will Howard for any college quarterback in the nation right now. I love what I see from him. I know I see your eyes right now. I already get it. I know. I hear you. I won't.
I only think of one.
I I don't. I probably know who you're thinking of, and I wouldn't do it. Let me tell you this. Um, Will Howard's passes to the sideline are NFL elite sideline passes. I love them. They're like that's his best throw, if you ask me. Obviously, his short yardage throws, he threw one into a Mecca Buka with somebody right on his hip. Perfect throw. The G Scott throw down there, perfect throw. he had a couple. Now, obviously the interception, it's like, bro, what are you doing?
Right. That was
But
really the only one that I felt that way during that whole game, was that interception.
well,
But
there
the
was
quarterback I will take. Who do you think?
you
I just
about to
want
say
to get
you about to say Cam Ward, dude.
absolutely not. We had
Hold
him
on, hold on.
already.
I'm gonna try to figure out. Are you gonna go with you're not going with Oregon's quarterback, are you?
Absolutely not.
You're
No
not
way.
gonna you're
That
not going with
midget.
Alabama's quarterback, are you?
No.
Um Hold on, dude. Oh, I got it. Bro, you want Syracuse's quarterback. I got it, bro. You're busted, Melo. Everybody, freaking Melo wants Kyle McCord back, dude. Melo, bro, you got to stay out to bars, bro.
No, Quinn Ewers, bro.
Oh, dude,
Quinn
what
Ewers.
freaking stupid idiot. I
I'm
knew
glad you
that
didn't hear it. I
crap.
said he was already
Bro,
here.
bro, no,
That's
I
the only
heard you say,
quarterback.
I don't know what I was doing. I feel you. Well, I'm ride or die Will Howard, dude. Screw
Oh
Quinn
yeah,
Ewers.
I'm
No,
riding or die
don't
with him
screw
too.
Quinn Ewers. I love you, my dude. You're good. Ah, that was too good. I can't believe you want
I
Kyle
can't believe you
McCord
said
back.
Syracuse, bro.
Uh,
I was not ready for that one. There was no way I thought you were gonna say
I
that.
don't know how. I think it's because Ewers didn't play this weekend because that's what I was going through. All the quarterbacks I watched
Yeah, that's
play,
true.
but
He's hurt, but yeah, that's the only quarterback.
yeah, that's a tough one. But you know, I just like what Chip Kelly's scheme. I think Will Howard fits perfectly into it, and
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I love his ball handling. And he's just surrounded by the talent. I like the decisions that he makes most of the time. I mean, every how many interceptions does Ewers have on the year?
I don't think he has any.
I'm about to look.
He got injured pretty early. I don't think he has any though. The only real team that they played that had a decent defense while he was healthy was the team up north. Also, I think like, could you imagine if? Oh, okay. Could
He's
you
got.
imagine if Will Howard was at Ohio State for all 4 years? How good he would be right now.
I know, man.
Because
You
he
hear Will
reminds me
Howard.
of Big Ben, to be honest with you. I know people. Somebody said he's the white Cam Newton and all these other people. Josh Allen. He reminds me of Big Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, I think he's pretty. Will Howard scoots and skedaddles when we were down at the goal line, and he was reading that defensive tackle. Which, by the way, eh, Chip Kelly's that approves his genius again. He's sitting there having having Howard read a defensive tackle, bro. That's just
Yeah,
that's beautiful. But it looked like he was shot out of a cannon going right down in there the end zone. That was pretty fast.
he's a fast big man.
They hit
Moving.
23. They clocked him at 23 mile an hour just in that little span right there.
Oh man,
Just
that's an
joking, bro.
elite
I don't know.
burst. That's an elite burst. Nah, what are you talking about? Somebody told me 25. You know what I mean? He's up there. He's about to go to the Olympics, brother.
Shoot. Okay, so we got Will Howard, Trey, freaking, they're making this, the O line is doing good, but they're making the O line look even way better.
Oh,
There's some play.
absolutely.
I mean, two of Trey's like longest runs that were not designed to be bounced to the outside, but he bounces them to the outside and takes off. Q is just, I mean, tough runner, dude. Tough runner. Let's see. Anything else?
Oh yeah, Trey. So stay here for just a quick second. So
Okay.
you remember the past like 3 years, Trey's always had that explosiveness. He's always had that breakaway speed. But what I've noticed, and the one knock that people used to have is his vision wasn't good and he slips all the time. Guess what he's not doing this year? He's not slipping and his vision looks elite. So he had Tony Alfred fraud here, coaching him for 3 years. His vision looked, it was skeptical. And then one off season, you have Coach Lachlan, and you look like you have the most elite vision in college football with Q. I wouldn't say that's a coincidence. I think it's a direct correlation of Coach Locke being hired. So that's my viewpoint right there alone is a good reason that I'm happy that they hired Locke. Another is his Coach Locke's response about how he approaches his job on a daily and that he coaches running back. He said most people just don't know that you can coach running backs because they don't. And he said he coaches them to get better. He trains them and teaches them. He doesn't call a stiff arm a stiff arm. He calls it a punch. And I mean, they've been punching people in the face when they're running.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm just happy we got Coach Locke here and the other guy went to the team up north.
Yeah. I think maybe one of the biggest arguments you can make in that regard is James Peoples, watching him come in and watching what he does. I mean, because, Quinn and Trey were already really good, and Trey has clearly changed his game up and the way he's being coached. All credit to Coach Locke there for sure. But then when you add what you see James Peoples do when he gets in the game, he's an elite running back as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man.
Beautiful thing to see. Mm-hmm. Got that tough running ability. Tight ends, G. Scott looks like he showed up a little bit. He had some good blocks. He also still had some times when I watched him block nobody, and it got us a tackle for a loss, and then obviously he got a holding call on him as well. But G showed up a little bit, which was a good thing. But other than that, I guess our tight ends, they go in there and sometimes they just straight up get the job done. Sometimes they don't. That's just not a room where we're seeing elite play. And a lot of the times we're not even seeing good play. Sometimes we are, sometimes we're not. But luckily, they're surrounded by elite talent. I do want to bring this up. Let me ask you at this point in time in the season, Tegra or Austin Sareveld?
I'm going Tegra.
You going Tegra?
Yeah, what about you?
It's getting closer for me, but I still want to lean on Tegra. I want him to keep getting that experience just because because his potential. But I'm going to tell you, I was very impressed watching Austin Sareveld come in and doing his thing. So
hold on. So you're saying, I know we already did a video, but you're saying Justin Fry is an elite developer, or is it because they have extra coaches on the coaching staff?
Hey, dude, listen. We did the video, and I gave Fry as much credit as I'm willing to give him at this point in time of the year. There's a whole other side to his job.
So you saying I'm doing too much right now?
Yeah, too much.
So about the tight end room, this is what just popped in my head. I feel like, you ever see the movie Forrest Gump?
Yes.
Like, my mama said life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're gonna get.
Box of chocolates.
That's how I feel like the tight end room is. Like, you never know what you're gonna get. You just pray, hoping on a prayer, bro.
Yeah,
like just call him Bon Jovi.
Hey, dude, put Demarion Witten in there. See what he can do, man.
They didn't even travel. They didn't even travel with the team. Aaron didn't travel with the team either. Neither did the Armstrong twins, which I expected because they need a year developing.
Yeah.
But like, all I keep picturing is just him tripping over the turf. The turf monster got him. That was going to be an easy first down.
It was going to be a 20-yard gain.
And then the second thought that came in my head after that happened is like, man, I can only imagine what Devan is thinking right now.
Bro. I guess it's I don't know if I'm stretching it here, but I just don't think that they are. I think they're like, I guess the best way I can explain it is I think they're MAC tight ends. I think Will Kazmarek does good in the MAC. I
Yeah.
think Bennett Christian would do good in the MAC. I think Patrick Gerd would do good in the MAC, right? But you're at Ohio State. Like, you got to be the best tight end in the country, or I'm complaining about you. So,
Do you think this is what I think? I know he's a Miami guy. He played at Miami, one of my favorite tight ends of all time. I think if it wasn't injuries, he would have been a top 3 all-time tight end.
yeah.
I'm picking up the phone and I'm like, man, how much do you like just being on your boat fishing in Southern Florida? Why don't you come here and coach? And that would be to one Mr. Jeremy Shockey.
Huh.
And I'm
Yeah.
kicking Keenan Bailey over because I mean Shockey's personality is definitely going to be able to recruit. That
Yeah.
man was a dog. He was a dog. He was Cade Stover before Cade Stover, but he was like the hip hop version of Cade Stover. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like he wasn't farmer Gronk. He was hip hop Cade Stover. So
Yeah.
I'm calling up Shockey and I'm saying, do you want to coach? Can you teach him how to block? Can you teach him how to run routes? Can you teach him to not give a damn about their body and give it up and go across the middle and catch this ball getting hit by a 250-pound linebacker right in the mouth and tell them to hold on to that ball and get back up and then do it again and then do it again and then do it again? Because obviously Keenan Bailey can't do it. Keenan
Yeah.
Bailey, the only saving grace for Keenan Bailey is he's an elite recruiter. And by that, I mean, if that's his target, he's going to go get his target and he's going to land his target. He's like the
Yeah.
opposite of Coach Fry. Coach Fry can't land his targets, but he could develop the hell out of his
Yeah.
what he already has. And Keenan Bailey's going to land his top targets, but he might not develop the shit out of them at all.
Yeah.
So,
As a, I, I hear you. I mean, at some point in time, I mean, wonder what other tight end coaches are on the roster. I mean, bring another tight end coach. Let Keenan Bailey keep recruiting and keep helping with the development, but bring somebody else in. But part of me as a fan just wishes they would have just at the Akron game, they would have started Jelani Thurman and they would have just kept him in this whole time as the
right,
main tight end, and he never leaves the dang field. I
right.
mean, because it's like, at this point in time, what would he have hurt? What would he have changed? I doubt it's anything, because it's not like we've ever had a game where we were just blown away by the tight ends. There's been a lot of complaining with the tight ends. So put the future in, put the one with the most ability in the game, and let him figure it out. But we're winning. We're 4-0. It's the beginning of the year, beginning of the season. Like the beautiful point you brought up earlier, the coaches, they probably have this game plan where they're mainly focused towards the end of the year, towards these bigger teams. And, us as fans, sometimes when we sit back and we watch them play, we want to see everything they are. Why? Because that's the most exciting thing to watch. Watch a team come out and just operate at their fullest potential, makes the games more exciting. But, I would rather the coaches focus on, okay, how do we win the national title? I love what I'm seeing so far, and I think we're going to do it. Final thing we didn't talk about, bro, there was no mistakes on special teams.
Yeah.
Not a one, dude. I mean, listen, when Michigan State kicked it off, most of the time they just waved for fair catches. I think they might have done that every time, but it was just so beautiful to just have the confidence that somebody's not going to call a fair catch when the ball's going out of bounds or something crazy. Did we see Ballard in the game at all?
Nah, that's the way I like it. Never mind, I'm just joking. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. I was just joking, but I don't think we saw.
I mean it. I mean it. So sorry, but listen, you had every chance possible. Ohio State, Michigan State, snap count. I saw Bryson Rogers in the game.
Oh yeah, and I loved it, and he had some catches too from Julian.
Yeah.
Talking about Julian, 4 for 1, launches a bomb to number 11 Bi. incomplete, and Ryan Day's reaction says it all. He's like,
Oh,
"What the?"
right. Yeah, did you see that reaction?
You could tell Julian just switched up the play in the huddle.
Did you see the smirk Brandon Ennis had on his face afterwards, bro? I feel like those two knew that they were about to do that. I feel like right when they went in, Brandon Ennis went up to Julian and talked him into doing some crazy crap. That's literally what I think. I don't think it mattered what they called. I feel like Brandon Ennis talked the young Julian saying into launching one deep.
The thing about it though, he picked the wrong receiver to throw it to. There was I forgot who it was, but someone was running like an in route, and he had 1-on-1. Bi had double team on him, so like
Yeah. Dang, bro. It said that Ballard got 19 snaps.
in that game.
Yeah.
So you know what I always say?
Bro, Jelani Thurman only got 11 snaps.
Yeah, something's going on that we don't know about. We gotta try to figure this out. We're gonna find out. We're gonna figure out why Jelani
Yeah.
Thurman's snaps are down. But
What's going on there? That's crazy. Huh. Let's see. Will Kazmarek, 23 snaps. G. Scott, 32. So G. Scott they gave Trey more snaps. Am I looking at the right game? Michigan State. I am. Let's go down here to defense. Look at some snap counts for the reserves. Caden Curry, 19. Kenyatta Jackson, 19. Mitchell Melton, 16. Edric Houston got in there for 2. Hero Canoe, 13. Caden McDonald, 18. CJ Hicks, 18. Arvell Reese, 18. Interesting. Arvell, CJ. No, that's not interesting because Cody Simon and Arvell are like this. Gabe Powers, 6. Come on, man. What do you think about when they go to that soft coverage, throwing Jermaine Matthews in there in Iggy's spot,
I love it.
or freaking leave Hancock in the game
I
and take?
I already thought about that while I was watching it. If you're
Yeah,
gonna do that, you have to put Jermaine Matthews in there, and you have to think about it. Jermaine Matthews last year was the highest graded DB in coverage in college football.
yeah, I know. Hey,
So if you're gonna do
interesting.
that off man coverage, you better put Jermaine in there for Iggy. Straight
Yeah,
up.
listen to the snap count for the defensive tackles. Taiwan Malone, 17. Ty Hamilton, 24. Hero Canoe, 13. And Caden McDonald, 18.
What about
And Jason Moore, 10. That's it.
mm,
So looks like 18 is number 2. Caden McDonald got the second most snaps out of any defensive tackle. So
and he deserved it.
yeah, it looks like
He popped off the screen. You know what I mean?
Taiwan. So it was Ty Hamilton, Taiwan Malone, and Caden McDonald. Yep. So
And
that's
back to
good.
JB. So like I use this terminology like in the soccer community down here. Everybody knows, are familiar with everybody because all their kids have been playing since they were little against each other. So I'll have someone that like a friend that just moved from Georgia, moved up to Pennsylvania to a league club, and he'll ask me about certain players, and I'll be like, "Oh shit, I forgot that they even played." That's never a good thing. You know what I mean? If
Yeah.
people are watching a whole game and they don't realize you even got in the game, that means you didn't
Yeah.
do anything.
Yeah.
You were invisible. You were hidden. You were hiding. You did nothing special
Yeah.
at all. Not even something bad that we could remember you for. You did nothing.
Some more snap counts here that's really throwing me off right now is obviously Jelani Thurman and then Lorenzo Styles with 5. They said in the press conference the other day that because of what he's doing on special teams, he has earned more snaps. They said the same thing about Gabe Powers, and you're going to give Lorenzo 5 and Gabe Powers 6.
Well, one of those 5 snaps he got a penalty on, so maybe that's what it was.
The bullcrap penalty.
Yeah, it still
The
cost him.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't. It equaled out. That was
But we
on.
know we're at Ohio State and we're with Coach Day, and he's the king of spin. He's the king of saying something and doing the opposite. That's why everybody's so shocked that he's like, everybody's looking at snap counts because they're so shocked that he's actually rotating because it's never happened. He's always said it for 4 or 5 years, and just now we're getting it.
Yeah. Check it out. Caden Curry, Jordan Hancock, Caleb Downs, Jack Sawyer, highest rated defensive players on PFF grades. Will Howard got a 73.5, Emeka Ibuka, Quinshaw Judkins, Jeremiah Smith got an as the highest, an 80.
Yeah, I saw something else that had Jeremiah Smith at it graded as 91.3. So
Yeah.
PFF, I know a lot of people like it and they're like,
Oh,
oh, it's
they're
PFF. No, they just got a lot of funding and a lot of and big
yeah.
time machine pushing them. They're nothing special. Like, take it with a grain of salt. It's entertainment. Take it as that. Don't take it as fact and proof.
That's why I'm reading it. I only read them if they support our narrative. If that doesn't, I just won't read it and I'll say that.
Yeah, but that wasn't really it wasn't really for you. It's really for the audience that's watching.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah,
take
yeah, yeah.
if you go to some show and they are quoting PFF and stating it as a fact that end all be all, stop watching that show. It's trash.
Let's see. Tegra Shabola, 56.2. Austin Saraveld, 63.8. Josh Fryer, again, roasted him again. 48.7, like the lowest rated. Lowest rated on
Yeah,
the offensive
but
line.
I'm just watching Kirk Martin today, who's a Hall of Famer on the
I
O
know.
line, and he
Yeah.
said Josh Fryer did pretty decent. So I'm gonna take his word over a bunch of geeks sitting behind a computer.
100%. Will Kazmarek, 47.4.
That's probably true.
Slip
That one's
Boy.
probably accurate.
I got to read Slip Boys. Bennett Christian. Holy Toledo, dude. He's the leader.
What do you have?
The highest PFF grade out of any offensive player, Slip Boy, 84.6.
Man, PFF is a complete and utter joke. Complete joke, man. All of
Oh,
them.
dude, you got a
That whole
lot. Now
staff is a joke.
this is on 3. I'm getting all this stuff from on 3. But yeah, so
Oh, so it's on 3 and not PFF? Because I thought you said
no,
PFF.
it's the PFF grades.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
on 3 gives you
Website.
it'll give you the snap count right beside it in parentheses. It'll tell you their PFF grades. So our
Oh,
most valuable
gotcha.
offensive player was Bennett Christian. Okay, so before
Man, that's another thing. I can't believe Steve left 247 to go to that joke place on 3. I'm sorry.
I know, dude.
But
Money,
that's
money,
another conversation for
money,
another day.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let me hear it. Which one you want first, offense or defense? And just name just 3 players that you thought very highly of.
I mean, offense is too easy. I'm going defense this time. I'm going Caleb Downs, K Mac, and who will my third be? I'm going Denzel Burke.
Okay. Now I'm going to go Jordan Hancock,
Okay.
Ty Hamilton, and give me my boy Gabe Powers for that hit on one of his
Okay.
6 snaps, my dude.
Yeah, I like it.
That's just what it is, man. Okay, over on offense, JJ Smith,
I knew you were going to steal Optimus.
Optimus Prime. I let you steal him last week. Emeka Ibuka.
That's a solid choice.
Yeah.
I pick him just because of that block alone.
I know.
I mean, he had crazy numbers, but that block was just like, wow.
I'm not
I didn't
picking
know he
Will
had
Howard.
it in him.
I know. I'm not picking Will Howard because he threw an interception. That's my boy. I'm not going to pick Seth McLaughlin. I really want to, but I did last week. I'm going to go with I'm going to go with Trey because
I
of
knew
his
it.
pass blocking.
I was trying to distract you talking right now. He's gonna forget about Trey. I'm getting Trey.
No. Oh, dude, I left you with some. Yeah, you still got choices, but I
Man, of
definitely, I
course.
think I
It's the
definitely
offense.
took I think I nailed 1, 2, 3.
Oh no, you definitely nailed it without a doubt. I'm taking
Yeah.
Q.
Okay.
I'm taking Q.
Bro, don't forget the highest rated PFF player, man. I'm
I'm
just
not
saying.
taking that.
Bro,
I'm not
just
taking him.
dude.
I'm taking Q.
Okay. You can't pick Q 3 times. You keep saying Q. We know you pick Q.
I'm taking Julian just because he had the balls to say
Okay.
F you to Coach Day, and I'm throwing this
Oh,
ball.
baby.
We slinging it. So I'm taking Julian just off of that. Just off of
Okay.
that. And then my third pick will be. Let me take a lineman. I'm going Jimmy Simmons.
Yeah, he did pretty good. He's he's
Those are my three
he's a he's a pass blocking machine
for sure.
for sure. But all right. Well, any closing thoughts?
Man, just have a blessed night. Hope that everybody's doing well out there, and hope to see you Tuesday for our live stream. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah. Don't forget, as a Buckeye fan, enjoy the season, man. Don't get caught up. I do it, so I'm not saying I'm perfect. Don't get caught up and the defense, gave up a bunch of passing yards in the first half and all that. Look at the players on this team. Enjoy the season. Focus on the good things, man. We 4-0, about to go 5-0, then 6-0. Then, we win in a natty, man. So enjoy it. Don't forget to like and to subscribe, man. Before we get into all that, man, going through what I've been through in life, it took me a long time to get on the path that the Lord wanted me to go on. But I would say one of the strongest messages that He has ever given me is to never forget where I came from. And if you look in the Bible, all the way back to the Israelites, being held captive, all the way through, the Lord's always asking them to build an altar. Get these rocks, stack them up, and do this. Why does He do that? In the Bible, He tells them to do it so that their ancestors can remember, so that their child's child will remember. So He's real big on wanting us to remember the blessings that He's given you in life. Remember those times when it's tough and you made it through. Always take yourself back to where you came from, man. That's what I do, and that gets me through a lot in life. So if you're going through something tough, remember you've been through something tough before. You made it out the other end. You're gonna make it again. Just have faith in the Lord, man. But other than that, don't forget to like and to subscribe. Remember, we're a fan channel. Go to buckeyeboys. Oh, no. Email us, buckeyeboys@gmail.com with 3 Z's. We're going live on Tuesday on the Ohio podcast channel. We'll be there for another 2 more weeks.
Yep.
And then we'll be switching over on the R channel, which we'll be going live every Tuesday and Wednesday at 8:15 both nights. This upcoming Wednesday show is going to be absolute fire. We will have B. Moses and Brett Jackson on with us. So tune into that, man. Like and subscribe, comment below.
And
With
who's
that,
Brett Jackson for all those that don't know his nickname?
it is Kenyatta Jackson Jr.'s dad. He is very knowledgeable. He used to coach football, knows a lot about the game, man. And so we're excited to have him be a part of the Buckeye Boys.
Yep.
I learned a lot from him just from talking to him and doing the interview last time. And I love soaking in knowledge about football because I didn't play it. He coached it. I love talking with him. So stay tuned. Go Buckeyes. OH.
IO.